You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. I am Tom Downey. As promised, it is mailbag time, answering your questions coming in from the comment section here on Steelers Talk. Remember, make my life easier by using hashtag Steelers for future ones. It just makes my life easier, and you have to be subscribed if you want to be picked. First up from Extra BLK, I hear the Giants going to release James Bradberry. What's your thoughts on the Steelers going after him? Great question. Background is the Giants GM Joe Shane said, hey, we're going to make a decision by the end of the week, and we're now halfway through Sunday, and no decision's been made yet, so I don't know what they're doing. I actually do have a lot of interest in Bradberry in the event he gets released by the Giants. I think corner is an area this team could use some help. Now, Bradberry's contract, I think it's $13.5 million he's owed this year, doesn't make sense to trade for. I don't like that idea very much at all. And Bradberry is coming off a down season where he allowed a lot more yards and a lot more touchdowns than he did in 2021, but I think he's still a good corner. And outside of bringing back Joe Hayden, I don't know who else you go get on the open market. Now, this in theory could make Levi Wallace your number 3 on the outside. You could start Bradberry and Ahkello Witherspoon, which maybe isn't ideal, but I think it's good enough, as good as the passing offenses could hypothetically be in the AFC North this year. Looking at the Browns, Bengals, and we'll see about the Ravens, given they traded away Marquise Brown. I would love to add another impact corner, and if Bradberry gets cut, and if he's not that expensive, I would be all for bringing him to Pittsburgh. But what do you guys think? Play the GM role for me. Would you sign James Bradberry? Type in S for sign or type in P for pass. Jim Palmer's got another free agency signing idea. Emmanuel Sanders is available. Stability and a veteran presence could help this receiving core. I'll be honest, I hadn't really thought about bringing back Emmanuel Sanders until Jim mentioned it, and I don't hate it. To be honest here, Sanders is not what he was at his prime in either Denver or with Pittsburgh, but he can still contribute as an NFL player, coming off his worst year I think since his rookie year of 626 yards, 4 touchdowns, double-checking my rookie year comment. Well, second year in the NFL when healthy. Oh, I forgot about the Niners. He played for the Niners, too. Been a bit of a journeyman. He is now getting up there in age. He's going to be 35 this year. But you look at what this Steelers team has at receiver, and I think Jim's onto something. This team does not have a true established veteran presence. In fact, your most experienced non-offensive lineman is Trubisky. The tight ends are getting a little bit up there in age of those who will make a big impact. Najee Harris is on his first deal. Same with Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. Pickens is a rookie. Miles Boykin is technically on his rookie deal. I guess Mason Rudolph also, but he's not that old either. So I do think a good vet leader could be useful. The problem you run into is the numbers game, right? Johnson's going to make this team. Claypool's going to make this team. Pickens, Austin as well. You probably want Miles Boykin as a backup and special teamer. Emmanuel Sanders does not play special teams. So if you want to go 6 deep, cool. But isn't that going to be Gunner's job? Gunner Olszewski going to handle the special teams role. So I think that the numbers game is awkward. I would have been a lot more on board had you not drafted both Pickens and Austin, but it's not the worst idea I've heard out there. So when it comes to free agents you still want the Pittsburgh Steelers to go get, drop a name for me in the comments section. This is the pinned comments on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and name a player you want to sign. From Wyatt Weaver, who do you think is QB1 in Week 1? There was a similar question from Sabonis21, almost identical, but I saw Wyatt's first, so I picked it. It's a great question. I think of all the camp battles, the preseason battles coming up across the NFL this year, the Steelers quarterback one is one of the most, if not the most, intriguing. In theory, it's a 3-man race. Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph. I am a bit more inclined to more or less write off Mason Rudolph, so apologies to the few remaining Rudolph truthers out there. I know you guys don't like me. It's fine. I think you let Pickett and Trubisky truly battle. Let the best man win the job, because you want to win games right now. And if Pickett's not quite ready yet, then go with Trubisky. If your first-round pick is close to being ready, or if it's a close battle, you probably go with the rookie just because of the level of investment made at this point. So who starts in Week 1? I'll give you the Mason Rudolph option as well. MT for Mitchell Trubisky, KP for Kenny Pickett, MR for Mason Rudolph. Get your predictions in for me in the comments right now. From Twin Dragon 56, I hear lots of people compare Pickett at his best to Derek Carr. I think that if he keeps improving like he did his senior year, he could be equal to other stars like Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, and the other young stars. I think expecting any QB to end up being like Allen, Mahomes, or Burrow is probably asking for too much, especially Allen or Mahomes, because those guys have rare traits as it relates to their arm strength and all that. Pickett did take a massive jump forward in 2021, and I think your hopeful upside is he could end up being like a Joe Burrow. Those are two QBs who weren't highly impactful early on in their careers, then broke out later in their careers, age-wise, and just in their senior year, you'll call it, at LSU for Burrow, Pitt for Pickett. Now, I think the big difference is that Joe Burrow is a master under pressure. Pickett has a lot of room to grow in that area, and I think that my comp of Jared Goff, which is still a good quarterback, especially if you're not paying him $30 million or whatnot. If you get instant Jared Goff, you'll probably be a playoff team in Pittsburgh with Pickett, or Teddy Bridgewater, or Derek Carr if you want to go that. Like, if you get Derek Carr with Pickett, I think you're really happy about that selection. The hoping he ends up being one of those guys, I think that might be asking for a little bit too much for where he was drafted in the draft class he was taken, but we've been surprised many a time before by QBs. So be honest with me. What is your confidence level in Kenny Pickett? Scale it 1 to 100. This will be just let me know in the comments. Be honest, 1 or 100. While you're down there, by the way, make sure you get yourself a Kenny Pickett jersey if you're a believer, which I'm sure you guys are. Chatsports.com/Pickett. White and the black ones are available. That link will be in the comments section and in the description. Kenny Pickett jerseys are out now with our friends over at Fanatics. From Ramtic, I think Pickens will be better than Chase Claypool. This is a good question. Depends on which Chase Claypool you get, right? I thought rookie year Claypool was awesome. 873 yards, 9 touchdowns. It's like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be a future star in the NFL. And then he didn't play as well in 2021. There was a bit of a step back as it relates to Claypool, and maybe we can blame some quarterback issues there. Sure. He just wasn't as productive. He actually averaged more yards per catch. The touchdowns went way down, and there were some, I'll call it focus issues for Claypool as well. Now, Claypool was immense upside. He was a bigger impact guy. I thought he was going to be in year 1. I had Pickens rated higher. They are a bit of different players. I think they could complement each other really well. Pickens as your outside X receiver. You can use Claypool in the slot as well. If you can get 800 yards from George Pickens in year 1 or year 2, I think you should be really happy about that particular draft pick for the level of investment there. So I don't have a great answer for you. I think both these guys could be long-term pieces for your offense. And if you don't want to pay Deontay Johnson, maybe it's Pickens, Claypool on the outside, Calvin Austin in the slot. That's intriguing from a youth perspective. So who will be better? GP for George Pickens or CC for Chase Claypool? From NRG, I'm subbed. Thank you, my friend. Do you think it will end up biting us in the end, not drafting Malik Willis over Kenny Pickett? I'm all for whatever gets us a ring. Yeah, I agree there. I had Willis higher than Kenny Pickett. And this is done pre-draft, just from my grades, my opinion, but not by that much. And it wasn't a great quarterback draft class overall. I mean, the NFL agrees with where those QBs ended up going. I was surprised to see Willis fall as much as he did. Maybe he didn't end up interviewing all that well. That certainly matters a lot for NFL teams. Maybe there's some unknown medical. I kind of doubt it. Willis has a higher upside than Kenny Pickett. He was also far more likely to end up being a colossal bust in Pittsburgh. So at this stage, probably trust a pretty good organization to make the right call. Now, if you want more Steelers videos, pretty much every single day, we got one every single day this week, actually, hit that big red button and subscribe. YouTube.com/SteelersTV. We got to 13,000. Thank you all so much. Let's keep growing and be the #1 Steelers YouTube channel out there. From Robert Ruiz, Cam Newton, or Ruiz, okay? Also, but why a little bit? Not to be rude. Cam Newton hasn't been Cam Newton in years. He can still run a little bit, But he wasn't great in 2021, wasn't great in 2020, banged up in 2019, was okay in 2018. Is he better than, does he offer you more to your organization than Mitch Trubisky does? No, probably not. Maybe it's so much already paid Trubisky. Certainly not more upside than Kenny Pickett at this point in their NFL careers. Maybe he's better than Mason Rudolph. Like, I'm not even sure about that one. So unless you get a bunch of injuries at quarterback, I don't really see the benefit of adding Cam Newton at this stage in his NFL career. Not what I would have said a couple years ago, but I don't see the benefit to adding another veteran QB when you've got one in Trubisky, you've got, in theory, your franchise guy in Kenny Pickett, and you've got Mason Rudolph. So I say pass for Cam Newton in Pittsburgh.